The Coalition Government's comprehensive spending review has signalled an era of austerity. We're here at Central Bedfordshire Council to find out the impact it will have on the area. Welcome, Councillor David McVicar. Could you explain your role within the council, please?
My role within the council is to look after various aspects of its work. These cover the environment, they cover community safety, and they cover registration, licensing and other areas of this. But by and large, it's looking after the health and the safety of the public within Central Bedfordshire. This is, to give you an example, covering CCTV, the lighting of the streets, the looking after and the maintenance of the roads in our area to make sure that everyone is safe and well looked after.
Okay, the presentation and the leaders' interview both clearly state that the council is both committed to protecting the vulnerable within our community, yet reducing CCTV, reducing street lighting and stopping school crossing patrols goes against this principle entirely, doesn't it?
No, not in so many words. We are not stopping CCTV. There will still be a constant 24/7 recording of all CCTV cameras. That will be on file, ready for anybody to look at following an incident should that occur. What we are doing is we're reducing the amount of time spent on looking at the CCTV monitors in areas where we know historically there are no particular problems occurring, and concentrating our efforts on those cameras at those times when particular problems have been known to occur. That's with the CCTV. The street crossings, in actual fact, we only have 28 patrol crossings in the whole of Central Bedfordshire. So they're not uniformly spread across all the schools. It's a historical thing which has built up over the years. And we believe now that if schools think that there is a necessity for putting that kind of crossing patrol in place, then they should look at it in providing it from their own resources or by involving the community, helping themselves to do this, because it's not a universally applied service which we as Central Bedfordshire have. You asked me about the street lighting, and recently the authority has carried out two pilot tests, one in Flitwick and one in Dunstable, where we have completely replaced all of the street lights with the new LED type street lights, which are a white light. They're not as environmentally intrusive as many of the old sodium lights were. They're much more efficient in terms of the electricity and power usage that they take up. And by and large, they need far less maintenance and looking after than the old style do. So we get a double win here. We use less electricity, which is cost effective, and hence reduces our carbon footprint, which we must do. And similarly, we won't need to send out the crews so often to repair those lamps. And again, we save out on the carbon footprint, which we're putting down as an authority.
So the council is clearly reducing a lot of its services. But as a resident of Central Bedfordshire, what can we expect in terms of council services being provided for in the future?
I don't think you as a resident should fear about anything, because the major services which we've delivered in the past will still be continued. The roads, the waste collection, the recycling, all those big areas which this council does for its residents will still continue. They are being looked at. They've been put under the microscope, and we're seeing ways whether we can improve the service, whether we can negotiate better terms with our contractors, and how overall efficiencies can be brought into the system. We've relocated the 4 different teams who look after public protection, and this in itself has saved a considerable amount of money, and it will make life for the general public out there who have to deal with these people a lot simpler than having one point of contact. We've looked at some of the areas on our roads, for instance, and now instead of having the illuminated keep left bollards that you see everywhere, we're taking those out on a scheduled fashion and putting in the reflective ones. This will save electricity and street maintenance. These are just a couple of examples where we're trying to be innovative. We're trying to look at ways of making savings, but without drastically reducing the effect that they have on the general public and the way of life in this area.